Do you ever ask yourself the question, why is this happening to me? Don't I deserve more than this? When something negative happens, when you're met with some kind of disappointment, do you ever just feel like, why? Why me? Why is life being so unfair? What's going on, guys? This is Keshav and you're watching another episode of Revolution Hive, and today I wanted to talk to you about this idea that things happen not to you, but they happen for you. I think it's quite easy sometimes when we're going about our daily lives, whatever we're doing, whether you're a university student, whether you're working full-time, whether you're trying to figure out what you do next and you're a graduate. Sometimes it's easy to feel that things aren't going your way and things are happening to you. You're being buffeted along and you're being pushed from side to side, from thing to thing, and different things are drawing away some of your spirit and your strength. And I wanted to share this idea with you today that these things are not happening to you, but they're happening for you. That if you accept the idea and the belief, the psychology that there is no failure, only feedback. Imagine as if you lived based on that idea, that you could never fail, that nothing you do could ever fail, whether it's that business plan, or whether it's the essay or dissertation that you're working on, or the relationship, or your anxiety or your confidence. There is no failure, only feedback. If you embrace this ideology, if you embrace this idea, it then changes your thinking to something more empowering, where anything that happens, no matter what it is, no matter if the outcome is negative or positive, because these are just judgments that we make, whether an outcome is positive or negative at the time when we're reacting to something. When I put up a video and I don't get the kind of views that I want, or I don't get the kind of comments that I want, or I'm speaking to someone and I don't get the response I want, or I'm trying to make a sale in my coaching business and I don't get the response that I want. If I adopt this mentality of there is no failure, only feedback, it changes my thinking to I can never ever fail, which gives me more confidence, but also more importantly, I'm always learning, I'm always adapting, I'm always growing, I'm always getting stronger. And it's not that I'm getting anything negative or anything positive, I'm just getting more learning. And that's the key thing. The key thing about coaching that I work with all my clients, it's not about the goal, it's not about the end result that they're trying to get to, it's about learning about how to adapt. I had a client who wanted to lose some weight and she didn't have the money, she was at college. So she decided that she was going to go for runs in the park every week. But she didn't feel confident enough in herself that people are going to be looking at me. How will I look? I don't feel like I can put myself out there in this way. I feel uncomfortable. And she went and had a go, and we created a goal, we created a plan. But here's the thing, you can create plans and you can set goals and you can work on it as much as you can and create so much detail, but life is going to happen. And we came to the next session, I asked her, what went well? What did you learn? And she didn't go running, she went for one of the days of the week, but she learned that I enjoy spending time running with my friends, and from that my learning is that I like to go with somebody. And when I do that, I'm not only more motivated, but I enjoy that activity more. So if you looked at it according to her goal of, I'm going to run 3 times a week, she might have failed, which again is a judgment. But the feedback was, I learned something. So similarly to you, I say, things are not happening to you, they're happening for you. And the next idea that I wanted to share with you is that if you think about metals and heat, your belief system. If you take a bunch of metals and you've got some gold, some zinc, some iron, and you put it into a fire, all of those metals have different compositions, they have different boiling points, and they will melt and burn at different points. But that gold, that one bit of diamond, that sparkling belief that you have inside you, it will stay, it will remain behind. And our experiences are like that. When I first applied to do a TED Talk, I got rejected and they said, no, we don't want a motivational speaker. What new idea do you have? And that was me being put into this what's that thing you call? A kiln, you know, through this fire, being baptized. And those old beliefs, those ones that don't serve me anymore, were being stripped away. And it's the same thing here. When I first started my coaching business, I was afraid to even charge. I was afraid to even say, this is my price. And I started off doing pay whatever you want coaching. You can give me whatever money you want. And then I said, actually, I can charge. And people started to pay me. And then I decided to charge X amount. And then I went higher, and it evolves. And those beliefs that didn't serve me anymore, those bits of metal that weren't gold, that I didn't need, they were stripped away. So think about your own belief system, your own psychology, and the experiences that you've gone through, whether it's the breakdown of a relationship that you really wanted, or things not, going exactly the way you wanted. Every experience, from being rejected by all my university choices, to going through clearing, to volunteering abroad and seeing the shelter where I worked with those girls who were being sexually and physically abused, being shut down, and fighting with every bit of energy in my body and not succeeding. Those experiences, they stripped away things. They helped me to not only learn things, there's no failure, only feedback, but also to just be left with that gold. And the last one is that we're constantly moving from paradigm to paradigm. There is a shift from when I was younger, believing that the world is evil and that corporations are bad and that money is bad and businesses are bad. And I was oscillating to this side. And then I started to swing the pendulum this way and started to realize business can be good and life is beautiful and people are amazing and people can be trusted. And then I had another experience like the one in Botswana where the chief social worker said to me, let those girls be on the street, I don't care. Shut down this shelter. And then I started to go back to the other side, and you'll see this in your own experience, that we're constantly shifting from paradigm to paradigm. And as we oscillate between the two extremes of abundance and abstinence, I'm thinking of dieting and going to the gym, or wealth, anything you can apply that balance to. As we move between the two, it's literally like, there's a guy called Tailor, RSD Tailor on YouTube, who's talking about this, that it's like you're going through this really, really intense experience, and it's like you're trying to be forced through this tiny gap, and you're like, and you're squeezing through, and all these things are being stripped off. And at the time, it's an intense experience, and it's not easy. But if it was easy, everybody would do it. And who you become through going through that process, through moving between one side to the next, from trusting people to having your heart broken, to working towards your dream and meeting failure, to going to the gym every day and working out well and eating right, to not eating right. There are experiences that you have in between each of those. There are things that I've learned when I've binged and eaten a whole packet of chocolate chip cookies and felt totally sick. And then also going to the other side where I've lost 9 kg in the last 2 months and started to build a six-pack. There are things I learned from both of those experiences that gave me important feedback. And when I went through that experience of overeating and overindulging in chocolate biscuits, or going through a negative experience in relationships or business, they taught me things about myself and my character that was stripping away those unnecessary metals and beliefs and leaving behind the really, really good stuff. So a couple of ideas that I wanted to share with you today, that things are happening for you and not to you. When you think of it in that regard, you're not a victim anymore, and I've spoken about this before, that when you're thinking as a victim, you're not owning your reality. But when you start to believe and really internalize and see that things are happening for your growth, for your benefit, so you can become lighter, so you can go even further and further. When they first designed the golf ball, They designed it without any dimples and it was completely perfect. But what they realized, the engineers who designed the first golf ball, this is from Eric Thomas, that when it had dimples on it, when it had some rough points, when it was bruised, it went a little further. So I say to you again that things are happening for you. They're not happening to you. And the reason why God or the universe or whatever it is you believe in is allowing you to go through the experiences that you're going through is not so that you can be broken, not so that you can feel pain, but so that pain is weakness leaving your body, and that's so that you can go like that golf ball a little bit further. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below and tell me what you think, what your thoughts are. As I said to you before, this is a conversation. I'm not looking to just talk to you. I'm talking with you. So comment below. I want to hear from each and every single one of you. Let me know what you think of this video and I'll talk to you next time. And remember, just like a bee gathers pollen from different flowers, absorb what's useful, discard what isn't, and add what's uniquely your own. Done.